this edition of a mobile homemaker puts the Y in DIY as I tackle a couple projects that got the best of me or maybe had questionable results running electricity to a bidet and building a new table for the porch. Wait, how is this Waveless not a Waveless Rancheros, babe? Well, everybody's here today.
Down to 4?
Rained pretty hard last night. The creek is moving right now. The indoor garden is slowly moving outside and being replaced by greenhouse. Well, not fully decorated yet, but things are coming along slowly but surely. Or not even close to fully decorated. Very well, are you? Time to put away the ski gear. Treasure's got the toy and he won't give it back. Free chipper day here in town and everyone's excited. There's the sound of chainsaws all around. I've got my truck loaded up and my neighbor across the street too is loading his up. There's a line. There's my neighbor getting his turn at the free chipper. Meanwhile, this guy's whipping up some barbecue over here. Pretty sweet, they're doing it for you. Pretty warm out today, but you can still see snow up on the mountain. They're gonna be open one more week. Looking out at the garden this morning, and I noticed this dark thing on top of the beds. And I'm wondering, what is that? And I walk over closer, and it looks like it's Bill's new litter box. I've been exploring the alleyways of town. It's a little nerve-wracking because, you're kind of walking through people's backyards, but they are public access. And they have very cool views of gardens and sheds and no cars, basically, except where people have parked their trucks. Later in the summer, these become kind of hard to walk through. A lot of them get overgrown, like this one up here. This is a pretty cool spot where the alleyway crosses over the creek. City view. It's like Hollywood backstage. In a string of warm days, they say spring has sprung, and I'm procrastinating on working on an electrical project. They say procrastination is the mother of invention. So I'm creating a little warm place, hot box. I don't know what to call this thing, starter box. So here's the situation with the electrical stuff. We have one of these Toto butt washer things. And we need an electrical source back here. This is the other side of that wall. Start figuring out all this by pulling this guy out. First I need to make sure the power's out. I have a very manual tester. It's out. Let's find one that's active. I think I'm good on the other one. So now indeed I can see that I've got wires coming in and out of this guy, and that there's a pigtail on this ground. This is the middle of a circuit. I also think that this box was screwed to the stud, which is right here, using some kind of external pieces before this piece was put in place. Meaning it's going to be hard for me to get this box out in order to look and see how everything's connected. Here it is in closed up mode. Not the prettiest, but it's working so far. Red-winged blackbird. We reached the end of our path. We're trying to get over there. I think we have to go back and then across. Deb wanted to know what the mulch created by Chipper Days looked like. So, I was right near here. Might as well take a look at the pile. Answer. Filled with lots of twigs. After hemming and hawing about how I could accomplish getting power from here to there or over to there, I think I would need to maybe drill straight this way and cut a hole in, obviously, in the wall on the other side. I'm wondering how I can do this without, I could drill right through the side of the junction box, I guess. So what I'm thinking about doing is just running a cable, running a cord right through the wall. I don't like admitting that this project got the better of me, but I just got intimidated, and I might have been able to figure my way out of it, but this is what I'm going to do for now. It'll just be plugged in there, run along the top of the baseboard, and then into this outlet here. Now, because I'm not going to be hanging a junction box off the stud, I think I'm just going to go relatively close to this wall over here. And we are through. Bill is just loving the blanket on the chair. He's been napping here for 3 days straight now. I wound up having to make the hole much bigger to fit the splices through. Oh, it's definitely a little homemade, but it's gonna work. Before I get everything totally closed up, I'm gonna go test it. Well, it's working. I spliced a piece in the middle basically because the cord I had wasn't long enough. Well, nobody's going to accuse it of looking super professional, but at least I can move on from this task, which has been bugging me for 4 months now. Now I'm starting to hook up the Toto. I've got the water turned off and removed the toilet seat and on this hardware that comes with the Toto. I emptied out the tank. I'm going to turn on the water, see if it's watertight. I can saw it leak somewhere. Here it is, restored to its glory. And the slightly non-conforming plug. What do you think, Kaiser? Something like April 29th, and there's still a fair amount of snow, but there's also some scary bald spots. I don't know if Venus is showing up on the video. It's up here somewhere. I think there it is. Mars is up here somewhere, but I don't even see it. And there's the moon. Doing some exploring. The river is looking pretty high, moving along at a pretty good clip. Water everywhere. Oh yeah, and some chewing tobacco. Oh, Wallace figured out to have a drink. How about you, Emmy? Nope. This is a really beautiful spot. Close to town. What views though. What a just scenic little ideal in my own top valley. if there is such a thing as a mountaintop valley. I guess you'd call that a pass, right? Mountaintop valley, that's a pass. Coming out of the hills, back into the valley. The river has overflowed its banks, but only enough to make for some happy cows. So in addition to these raised beds and some potted stuff that we're going to do here, preparing this border for putting in additional plantings. Funny, despite years of gardening experience, we don't have much experience at all with vegetable gardens or with big, wide, expansive grass. It's amazing how big these rhubarbs have gotten. It's our put-in spot where we tubed down the creek last summer. It's way higher. The creek was way down here when we got in last summer. It's May 1st, and this is the last pile of snow that I know of in town, left over from plowing the streets. Cutting the grass, which had really turned into a riot of dandelion blossoms last week. I'm wondering about mowing and grass and pollinators, and I'm sure making a lot of bees unhappy, I can tell you that. Thinking about what we can do to work along with these guys a little bit better. We have been using this coffee table on the porch, made up of probably vanity drawers, I guess, and some 2x4s. With this granite top found in the yard. I'm thinking about replacing that bottom with those sticks over there. The plum hardwood. I may use this. I don't know what this is, a wine box or IKEA shelf or some kind of drawer. I may use that as part of the base as well. So the basic idea is to have the tabletop be 18 inches off the floor, 18 and a half. I'm thinking I wanted to use the drawer here as a midpoint, like a little shelf type of a deal, and to stabilize the whole affair. I think have the legs run through it, although maybe they can run outside of it. I need to measure. Up here, I'm thinking I'll use the existing 2x4s. So here's how these two compare sidewise. So I've got 4 17-inch legs ready to go here. I left the cool moss on this one, but kind of scraped down the rest of them. I kind of eyeballed my measurements. I got this nice level, but if you look, the tops are anything but even, so I'm going to mark those and make them so. Now I'm cutting 4 holes for the legs to come up through. Drilled some holes and can use a jigsaw. Okay, got the holes cut out. Cut these guys down to a shorter length. Well, one's longer, got a new piece. Got these 4 legs. I'm gonna screw it all together. I think this is, a piece of modern furniture. It's not gonna have a lot to it. Each leg is marked at 2 inches. It's gonna be 2 inches above. I pre-drilled holes. Now I'm going to put each leg in with 1 screw and get everything figured out, jiggered up, leveled. Got the basic frame put together. Just need to put in more screws. Got a little wobble issue here. I think I'm gonna have to cut this leg and this leg a little bit. Trim those legs up. It's sitting pretty solid now. There it is, the new and improved porch table. Interesting. Yeah, not the best solution on that electrical stuff. I wound up putting some zip ties on the back of those cables to secure them in place when you plugged in and out. Um, Maybe not my finest work, but I got it done. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.